Hello and welcome to Module 3, the Kidney Paired Donation Program, also referred to as KPD. This module will provide an overview of blood group and tissue compatibility and will also explain the Kidney Paired Donation Program. As you've just learned, a rigorous evaluation process is conducted in order to ensure that you are healthy enough to become a living kidney donor. Another important detail that must be considered before someone can donate a kidney is how well the living kidney donor's blood group matches or is compatible with the recipient's blood group. This is often referred to as ABO compatibility. This information can be discovered by giving a blood sample. Alternatively, if you have donated blood before, you likely received a card from the Canadian Blood Services which specifically states your blood group. If your blood group is O, you can donate to a recipient whose blood group is O, A, B, or AB. If your blood group is A, you can donate to a recipient whose blood group is A or AB. If your blood group is B, you can donate to a recipient whose blood group is B or AB. Lastly, if your blood group is AB, you can only donate to a recipient whose blood group is AB. The living kidney donation team will determine if your blood group is compatible with your intended recipient. If you are not blood group compatible, you can still be a living kidney donor. There are other options which will be discussed in the second part of this module. In order to donate a kidney to your intended recipient, you must not only be blood group compatible, but your kidney tissue must also be compatible with the recipient. This can be determined by conducting a test called human leukocyte antigen typing, also called HLA typing, as well as a cross-match test, which is performed during Phase 2 of the evaluation. This testing determines if there are antibodies in the blood of your intended recipient against proteins on your kidney, called HLA antigens. When these antibodies are present, they are called donor-specific antibodies. If your intended recipient has donor-specific antibodies against your kidney, then they may reject that kidney, which can cause the kidney to fail prematurely. When these antibodies are present, this is also known as a positive cross-match, and donation directly to your intended recipient is not possible. If your intended recipient does not have donor-specific antibodies in their blood against your kidney, this is known as a negative cross-match, and donation directly to your intended recipient may be possible. To summarize, if you are blood group compatible and have a negative cross-match, you are considered compatible with your recipient and you can directly donate to them if you are suitable to donate. This is called direct donation. If you are blood group compatible but the cross-match is positive, there is a higher chance that your recipient's body may reject your donated kidney. You can still be a living kidney donor, although you cannot donate directly to your recipient. Other options are available and will be discussed next. It is important to note that the HLA typing test may also give some information about your biological relationship to the intended recipient, although it is not being performed to specifically determine this relationship. Therefore, you will not be given information about this aspect of the test result. If you wish to have testing done to determine your biological relationship to your recipient, you'll be referred to your family doctor. The results of the HLA typing and cross-match test will be reported on the intended recipient's chart. You will be asked to give written consent for the HLA typing and cross-match test and for your results to be visible on the intended recipient's chart. If you are a living kidney donor who is 1. Blood group incompatible with your intended recipient, or 2. Has a positive cross-match with your intended recipient, you can still be a living kidney donor. There are several options that make a kidney transplant for your recipient possible. First, you and your recipient can participate in the Kidney Paired Donation Program, also known as the KPD program. This is a Canada-wide program run by the Canadian Blood Services in partnership with all living kidney donation and kidney transplant programs in the country. Essentially, the KPD program matches incompatible living kidney donor and recipient pairs to other incompatible pairs. So, a living kidney donor of an incompatible pair can donate to another recipient in Canada with whom they are compatible, while their original recipient receives a kidney from a different living kidney donor in the program that is compatible with them. For example, donor A wants to donate to recipient A, but they are not compatible. Donor B wants to donate to recipient B, but they are not compatible. And donor C wants to donate to recipient C, but they are not compatible. The KPD program will create an exchange where kidney donors will donate to a compatible recipient. Here, donor A will donate to recipient B, donor B will donate to recipient C, and donor C will donate to recipient A. As you can see by this example, this process creates a chain reaction where each living kidney donor is donating a kidney to another recipient who is compatible, while ensuring that their original intended recipient still receives a living donor kidney transplant. Since the KPD program is a national program, donors and recipients may not always be located in the same city. In most circumstances, if you are evaluated at Toronto General Hospital, you will donate your kidney at Toronto General Hospital, and it will be shipped to the recipient, who may be located anywhere in the country. Your intended recipient will receive a kidney shipped from elsewhere to Toronto General Hospital in order for their transplant to occur. Kidneys are shipped via ground transport or air. The recipient surgeries typically do not take place on the same day, but usually within the same week. Since the KPD program requires that multiple programs work together, there may also be limited flexibility in surgery dates. As such, living kidney donors who would like to donate a kidney during specific times, such as over holidays, may not always be able to be accommodated. In rare circumstances, a living kidney donor will be required to travel to another center to donate. Your clinical coordinator will discuss this with you as required. In cases of blood group incompatibility, or in cases of a positive cross-match, the KPD program is the preferred option. However, other options are possible, including list exchange and desensitization. List exchange occurs when a living kidney donor donates a kidney to someone on the waiting list in exchange for their intended recipient receiving higher priority for a kidney on the deceased donor waiting list. Desensitization is used to allow a living kidney donor to donate directly to their recipient, even if incompatibility exists between the donor and recipient. To make this possible, the recipient will require a series of treatments before the transplant to treat their immune system reaction to the living kidney donor tissue. This is not always successful or possible. List exchange and desensitization are not commonly performed. Your clinical coordinator will provide you with more information about these options if they apply to you and your intended recipient. You have now completed Module 3, the Kidney Paired Donation Program. In this module, we reviewed blood group compatibility, as well as compatibility and the Kidney Paired Exchange Program. In the next module, we will review the living donor surgery.